Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Peace, love, and positivity to you. My name is Sohum, and today I'll be reacting to Dave Matthews Band as well as Peter Gabriel. We've got a theme here. We're going to start off with the song Gravedigger and then check out the song Digging in the Dirt. Now, full disclosure, I've heard the song Gravedigger several times over the course of my Dave Matthews Band reactions on the channel, so this song is nothing new to me. In fact, just a month ago, I did the full Some Devil album reaction, so definitely encourage you guys to go check that out for my independent thoughts of Gravedigger, but absolutely love this song to bits. But I'm very curious to hear what Peter Gabriel's take is, not necessarily on the song Gravedigger. I don't think these are covers of one another, but to hear how he would like to envision the role of a gravedigger. I really hope that, I was thinking about this the other day, I really hope that grave robbers is no longer a thing, because I saw this episode of I guess you could call it like a Netflix horror show, where every single episode is a different story, and in one of the stories they were following these two grave diggers, these robbers basically, looking for jewels and such. I won't spoil it if you want to watch it, but it involved rats. It was very gross. Anyways, let's not start this reaction off that way. I want to hear the music, but before we jump into it, a massive thank you goes to Wendy for making this reaction request and for bringing more Dave Matthews Band and Peter Gabriel to the channel. Now, let's jump in. Where's my boy Cyrus Jones?
Cyrus Jones,
There he is.
1810 to 1913.
103.
Great-grandchildren
Crazy.
believe you could live to 103. 103 is forever when you're just a little kid. So Cyrus
I
Jones,
love the percussion in this.
Gravedigger, when you dig my grave, could you make it shallow?
What a line, dude.
So that I can feel the
Rain. Such a beautiful line.
Gravedigger.
And the full rock entry.
Muriel Stonewall, 1903 to 1954. She lost both of her babies in the Second Great War. Now you should never have to watch as your only children are lowered in the ground. I mean, never have to bury your own babies. Gravedigger.
Dude, this song is so
When
good.
you dig my grave,
It just never gets old.
could you make it shallow so that I can feel rain? Gravedigger. Ring around the rosy.
The guitar work in this is awesome.
Pocket full of posy.
Hear how sharp some of those notes are.
Ashes to ashes. We all fall down. Gravedigger, when you dig my grave,
Dude,
could
I
you
love
make
how
it
textured this track is.
So
There's so many different moments that are worth pointing out in this song, and like every time I listen to it, there are new moments that I'll pick up on. But I love that before everything fully like calmed and dissipated, there was one final crash cymbal that we could hear in the drums, sort of punctuating the entirety of that chorus.
we all fall down. Grave.
So more like a post-chorus with the pocket full of posy, that whole stuff. But the way that we kind of cleanse the song with that crash, it's just so satisfying.
We all fall down. Gravedigger.
A perfect reset.
Dig my
Dude, I will listen to this song every time it gets requested. I don't care. It's so good. God, and I love how textured it is in the studio version. So this is a song that takes on many different hats in the lives, but the way it sounds in the studio, it is just one of a kind because there's so much going on, definitely in the drums and in the guitar, but you'll even notice like how like clever Dave is in his delivery because he finds ways to make even the word Gravedigger, he enunciates different parts of that syllable differently with each go around. He'll even extend the grave part or then quicken the last part, digger, or vice versa. He'll change the actual delivery of the word with each pass, and those little decisions to be able to, like, I guess, remember that you've even done all of them would be would be very challenging. I don't know if Dave ever remembers all of the specific stylings he'll employ verbatim in a studio, because when you perform live, you're just going where the energy takes you, and with Dave Matthews Band, that is usually what is happening, right? They're very rarely staying so true to the studio renditions, which gives the song Gravedigger like 12 different personalities, all of which I love. That is why, like, whenever I hear this song in any version, it just goes crazy for me, like I'm hearing it for the first time. Because technically with Dave Matthews, if you're ever hearing a new version of the same song, you are hearing it for the first time. Now, my analogy isn't one-to-one because I have heard this song verbatim before, but alas, here we are. I do love the lyrical direction that the song takes, because the idea that all you want in this afterlife is a request to the gravedigger, somebody who is lowering you into the ground. They're sort of demarcating the transition for you from this life into the next, or whatever else you may believe. And that is a very sacred thing. And the plea is not to, don't lower me in the ground. He's already accepted his reality, or each of the characters. It's more of a factual recounting rather than a plea. But the chorus is the plea. Will you make it shallow? And dude, somehow, some way, that is one of the best lines the Dave Matthews Band ever have come up with. It's a banger through and through. So lyrically, what I love about this song, not only that line, but the storytelling aspect to it. It's just a bunch of, I guess, character vignettes across time. And from the lens of a child, they live forever, a lot of these people. But, you know, they all meant, anyone who's passed, they've meant something to someone in some way different from anyone else. It's just the crazy complexity that is this life. So you could have done 40 other stories, 4 billion other stories. It wouldn't make a difference, because all of these stories, what makes them important is that someone passed on. So it doesn't have to be any one person. It's just the kind of, these examples are the stand-in for anybody who is about to meet their maker. Let's check out the Peter Gabriel song, Digging in the Dirt. Oh my god, I don't like the snail being anywhere near those areas. So it's like when he's in the grass, that's like him kind of decomposing, I think, and then nature kind of subsuming him. Can't go on, that is too long. This time you've gone too far. This time you've gone too far. This time you've gone too far. I told you back to voice.
This time you've come too far. I told you, I told you, I told you, I told you. Don't talk back. Just drive the car.
That transition was gnarly.
I told you, talk back.
Record
Just
for
drive the car.
with the high.
Shut your mouth. I know what you are. Don't say nothing. Keep your hands on the wheel. Don't turn around. This is for real. Dig it in the dirt. Stay with me, I need support. Dig it.
Dude, this is so interesting. I've always had like mixed opinions on Peter Gabriel because like I find his songwriting to be very different and like super like world beat, which sometimes I really like. Sometimes it feels a bit too generic for me, but I like in this song that there's a bit more of that rock edge, which definitely shows up in the guitar. But I would say that Peter is actually leaning into some of the growliness that his vocals are capable of. But the emotional place that this song puts me is more of like this sort of, I guess, quiet serenity. It's not exactly blissful in the way like a Van Morrison song might be, but something about the air feels like no matter what happens, like it's going to be fine. You know, you're like right at that precipice. Maybe it's a version of like being in that place right before judgment is cast on you. Not necessarily limbo, but more of like, this is now the process. You're now undertaking the process of going to judgment, which would be a very neutral kind of thing because you don't know. It's in your own mind where you may go, and the judgment can only be delivered to you. But let's see if I'm just talking out of my rear. Dude, this Slugs is like putting me off.
Digging in the dirt, find the places I got hurt. Open up places I got hurt.
Oh man, bro destroyed the sandcastle. Why? Missing the cup. This guy is an ass.
The more I look, the more I find. As I close on in, I get so blind.
This song is very like, something is like trance about it. I feel almost like hypnotized as I listen. Maybe it's in the tempo that's doing that, and certainly in what we hear in the atmosphere, like those key sounds that come through. I don't know. Also, the music video is a bit trippy.
As I close on in, I get so blind. I feel it in my head, I feel it in my toes.
Packaging the
I feel it
he is
in my
such an ass.
sex, that's the place it goes. This time you've gone too far. This time you've gone too far. This time you've gone too far. I told you, I told you, I told you, I told you. This time you've gone too far. This time you've gone too far. This time you've gone too far. I told you, I told you, I told you, I told you. Don't talk back. Just drive the car.
I like the song. I am really trying to figure out what is happening with the lyrics and in the video. I feel like there is a deeper meaning here. Part of my brain, I'll give you a hint as to where I'm thinking about this. A part of my brain is like, this is the inner child being abused by then the adult who has that inner child within them, without actually properly embracing that inner child and healing and doing all of like the work to bring yourself back to a place where you just don't judge yourself forever, or criticize yourself or make fun of yourself. I feel like that could be roughly where we're going with this, but it's not exactly clear.
Just drive the car, shut your mouth, I know what you are. Don't say.
And how could he know what you are? Shut your mouth, I know what you are. So like the ego thinks that it knows the inner child, but really that is the all-knowing thing that has just been kind of suppressed.
I know what you are. Don't say nothing. Keep your hands on the wheel. Don't turn around. This is for real.
So wild.
Digging in the dirt. Stay with me, I need support. I'm digging in the dirt to find the places I got hurt.
Digging in the dirt, finding the places that I can't hurt.
To find the places I got hurt.
Hold on, I want to look that lyric up. I suppose I should have had the lyrics up anyways, but forget. Here we are. To find the places we got hurt. Yeah, so it's very introspective. Okay, so it is, it is like trying to unpack like all that went on within. So, I mean, you can take it multiple ways, but I feel like the interpretations work either way, because the way I originally thought was that this is the self-criticizing, like an older version of the self-criticizing the younger version of the self. That is often what self-criticism looks like. You're like, oh, why did I say that thing in that way? I'm so stupid. And that statement is from the version of you that judges yourself for making a rather neutral statement, all things considered. There wasn't anything you did wrong, and you've criticized yourself for it. In a way, setting yourself up to fail. And only until you dig within, you can uncover why you actually get hurt by that pattern in the first place. So I think they kind of go together, the situation of the self-criticism and doing the digging to figure it all out.
Open up places I got hurt. I'm digging in the dirt. Stay with me, I need support. I'm digging in the dirt. Find the places I got hurt. To open up places I got hurt.
Oh, now it's in reverse, healing, right? Bringing yourself back up to the surface. Oh, that's the healing, that's the regrowth. Nice.
Find the places we got hurt. Digging in the dirt. Find the places we got hurt. Digging in the dirt. Find the places we got hurt. Digging in the dirt. Find the places we got hurt.
Wow, this is so different than Gravedigger, but I love the direction that they took lyrically for sure with this video. It's a fun beat and good melody, but I feel like what I take away more from this track is the meaning and is the idea of looking within for the answers, because that's just it. We have been with ourselves for the majority of our lives, so it is very likely that we will know, at least subconsciously, why we think the way that we do, why we act the way that we do. Not to say that guides and those who are there to help and support us can't help too, but we are definitely very resourceful as it relates to ourselves. I like to say that you are the expert in yourself. And even in my life, like as I've gone down my various healing journeys, trying to figure out why it is I create certain patterns the way that I have, and where that comes from sometimes takes more of a licensed professional than you yourself can unpack. And I feel like, I have done so much unpacking on my own and learning that I'm almost very curious to then go to a professional and see, what they would assume of my my mental health overall. But when you're having to like dig within yourself, it is a very scary thing because you don't necessarily know what you're going to find. But abstractly, we know that we're going to find a sort of dormant version of ourselves, but that version was hurt. And a lot of our maladaptive behavior that follows as a result is in a way a defense mechanism to prevent that hurt from repeating once again in the future. So the act of digging in the dirt is an act of true bravery because you have to confront the fear within. And the fear within is one of the most powerful. And again, if you bring into this whole conversation the idea of the ego, well, the ego doesn't want to ever be bruised. It doesn't want you to have any spotlight on it, because the moment you call it out is the moment that finally all of the cards are on the playing field. I, for one, I'm in the business of not allowing the ego to win because it is far more valuable to me, far more valuable to you, anybody who I love and care about in this world, that I show up as the version of myself that I know I am. I don't know what version that is going to look like, but there is a, an unrepressed version of you, of me, of anybody. And to me, the closer and closer we get to that place, almost like a limit asymptotically so, you get closer to self-actualization. Take my opinions all with a grain of salt. This is just my perspective on the song today, but I really like the subject matter here, and for me, that is the reason why I always love to return to Peter Gabriel, and of course Dave Matthews Band. Great lyrics, great songwriting, beautiful melody, just, it will always take me over the edge. But thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. If you would like to request a reaction yourself, whether it's more Dave Matthews Band, more Peter Gabriel, or anything else you think I should see, use the first link in the description box below. But thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care and peace.